What up, world? Is Radioactive Podcast. It's your host, Ace Boogie, and I have a special guest with me today. Before we get to that, let me shout out to the sponsors. First off, Street Legion. Guys, if you're not listening to Street Legion, I don't know what you're doing, man. Street Legion, we appreciate you guys for hosting, giving us this wonderful building. Come on, man. Gotta love it. So, also, I want to give a shout out to Rando Trip with Madhouse Customs and Past That Apparel, as well as Battle Print Press. So, ma'am, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. What'd you do today?
Laid down. I was tired all day. We had an event last night.
Okay. What event did you have last night?
We do Royal First Saturdays at Breeze Lounge.
Oh, how long you been doing that?
Since the first
Really?
2020.
And how's that going for you?
Going pretty good. We had a good night last night.
Really? So, I mean, you gonna start doing like themes for your parties, or is it just throwing a party?
It's usually themed. Last night was March Madness.
Really?
So we did like a March Madness party.
Okay, so that's basketball, correct?
Yeah, but we were just kind of jumping off of, but not really dressed like that. Like
Okay.
my waitresses had referee outfits on.
Ooh.
And then when it was your birthday, we did the whistle.
Is that right? Okay. Makes it feel special. So, go ahead and give your name and what you do.
I am Toni Texas C. Campbell. I am the owner and operator of House of Royalty Beauty Bar Boutique, Royalty Couture, and House of Hair International, and Royal Crown Bar Grooming Lounge.
So, where is because I mean you do a lot. Okay, so where does this mogul mentality come from? Hunger. So I remember talking to you saying that you was pretty much raised by the streets, correct?
Yeah.
So what was that? Was you out in the streets at a young age? Like what was that about?
I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the project. So
Okay.
I grew up around a lot of gang members and drug dealers. And I did hair in the projects. And so really they were like my family. So I learned the hustle mentality, the survival, of their business. But I just used it toward me and what I was doing in life. So, yeah.
So I mean, would you say it was scary growing up, being that you was it big thing on respect back then?
Most definitely. Now I'm at the age that I am now. I realize it was scary and dangerous, but because that's something I came up in, I didn't realize how much danger we were in. But of course, everything is built on respect, family, and just where you belong, And I just happen to be a resident of East Terrace, so
Yeah.
I'm an OG of East Terrace.
So I mean, being that you grew up in the hood and so forth, did you ever have to be that down chick?
Yes, but it was a level of respect for me because I wasn't the one that fought or nothing like that. I was the one that they were supporting that was going to make it out the hood because I was doing hair at a young age. So, they kind of had this thing of protection around me because they wanted to make sure I made it.
So what's up, A-Boy? Well, A-Boy to my Toni.
Hey.
Did you get a chance to share it to your
Yes,
page?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said you have a boutique, a hair salon, and a barbershop?
Yes. Grooming lounge.
So was that easy to get together?
Heck to the no.
Really? Yeah. I know it wasn't. But, I mean, what drove you to... I want to know, first of all, what happened to make you stop and say, you know what, I need my own. This ain't working no more.
Well, what happened is I worked at a salon. I did hair in the projects, and then as soon as I got my license, I went straight to a salon. I worked at one of the top salons in San Antonio, to me, on the side. And it kind of started showing me business, started showing me, like that I can really do something great out in this. 5 years, and they decided to close. And so therefore I had to go find my own spot. So I just went looking for me a spot.
So I mean, why didn't you just go work for someone else?
I think that they trained me up so well that I just felt like leadership was gonna be the next thing, I wanted to have my own business. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to show my daughter, of course, at the time that, okay, I think we own to something. And so I seen a building down the street, and I said, well, let me just go see. And they approved me, and I moved in. It was just like, it wasn't like a plan I planned out. I just feel like it was just set up that way.
So would you say the streets taught you that want to be your own boss type of thing?
Most definitely.
What are some lessons that the streets have taught you? Just going through scale through mine,
family, loyalty. They taught me that how people gonna be. You need respect in the game, and respect don't come. It comes with who you are and how you hold yourself. Most definitely, I learned that. Family with them, my gang, my gang friends, we always protected each other. It just made me who I am. I'm not a weak broad, as I say. I'm not somebody you can just push over. The streets taught me that. And people don't tend to think I'm mean, but I hung around nothing but dudes, growing up. So they taught me how to be tough. And so those things you need when you go into the other side of the world, outside the corporate world, because they tough. It's just a different version. You know what I mean? So I just learned not to be green to a lot of things. They taught me that, and most definitely taught me how to count money, save money, put my money up, flip my money. That's what they taught me.
So when you got your business, how did you keep them away? I don't want to say keep them away, but first off, everybody's gonna want a discount because you the homie, and now you out of a business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So It's like, how did you break that down to them? Look, y'all, I can't be giving discounts. Y'all want to pay full price like everybody else.
Again, it was a respect thing. Everybody wanted to see me succeed, that they were supporting me, and that I don't know how to explain that any other way. Now, you did have clients that still want you to be, real cheap, but that wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening. I dope dealer girlfriends. Like that. What happened is, one day I just kind of had a talk with myself, like, okay, you gonna keep doing this kind of lifestyle, or do you want to do doctors, lawyers? You want to do people that's continuously bringing you money instead of waiting on their check, or because an event coming, they want to get their hair done. I needed that continuous money. So it started with me changing my outlook, what I look like, how I represent myself, how I represent my brand. And I started cleaning myself up a little bit. I stopped doing the ghetto styles and started doing more conservative styles. So then that brought me new clientele. So then, my homegirls didn't want them styles. They wanted to go to the next girl that do the hood style. So we never fell out. They just seen the transition that I was making.
Okay. So I like the team that you have. Where did you find these women?
Which team?
Well, the team at the salon.
Well, I'm a stylist that's built off a team. That's what I want my salon to be. I always look for the baddest of whatever you in, whatever talent you're in. And if I see something in you, I want to help grow that or bloom it. And so with anything, you need a team, you can't do it all by yourself. And so I just think it looks better when you have a team.
It does.
And it probably comes from when I was in the projects, because we had the East Terrace, crew.
Right.
And they was a team, even though it was a different kind of team. And I probably got that from them, never really realizing that.
Well, but building a team is not easy. Like, you got to know who to trust, who not to trust, weeding folks out. Like, how did you figure that out?
It's an everyday struggle. Because too, when you have a team, everybody's not going to like how you run your team. So those things happen. Some people come on your team just to get information for the next person, for the next team. Some people come to figure out the formula so they can build them a team. But I think, I used to get offended at that, but I think now, when you're a leader, people gotta come looking and want the information from the person that's doing something great. So apparently I'm doing something great that is bringing all kind of folks my way, you know what I mean? And all it does to me is add more apples to my tree, because I'm the tree.
Yeah, okay. So why did you choose do the boutique? Like, why'd you choose those?
Well, there's a couple of stories with that. God told me house of royalty. He told me family. He told me family first. And my daughter has always been an artist. And I always seen her make clothes. She used to tear the house up, making clothes and tearing up all the clothes. And so I just felt like I wanted to do her. So we opened a boutique to shine the light on her. So we bought clothes, but we wanted people to know that she was a designer and she could make clothes. So the boutique was a setup for her. The salon, of course, that's me, that's my passion. And I just feel like if we did that in a family-orientated manner, it would grow the brand, and it complemented each other. Now, what happened with the barbershop, I used to own a barbershop years ago when I was married. And so I had a barbershop before, but the barbershop next door to me was closing, and it just made sense to have the boutique, the salon, and just take that and just open the barbershop.
Right. Dang.
It just makes sense.
I heard that. So you have a passion for hair.
Yes.
When did you figure that out?
When I was doing a project. No, when I was doing the projects, I was willing to make money. That wasn't my plan to have a dream, this. I was just surviving at the time. But I started getting a high off of people loving what I did, and they said I had a signature. And when they would see people on the street, they was like, Toni did your hair because I know her signature. So I was like, maybe I'm on to something, you know what I mean? And I started getting a high for seeing my clients finish and they walk outside and they get in their car and they put their shades on. I'm like, yeah, I know they look good. So that became my high. And I still do it to this day.
To make people look good?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Transforming them.
Who taught you? Where did you get your skills from?
Ooh. So many people taught me. I went to beauty college. Miss Cunningham, she a triple OG in the hair game. I've had so many mentors in this field that helped me. When I first got in the beauty business, it was Lisa Dupree. She was the nail doctor, but she worked in the salon together. The first salon I worked in. Katrina Warner, she was the master stylist at our salon. So I just kind of sat in the back and kind of gravitated to them, watched them and them. But what I learned from them, my own, brought my own signature in it. And so as life progressed, you run into different people that pour into you. And so a lot of people have birthed me, especially the East Side. East Side is really kind of my foundation of where I came from. So in hairstyling, you got to be creative on the East Side. You can't just be doing no booty-poo hair.
Who was the hottest hairstylist in the East Side back then, as far as salons? What was the go-to salons back then when you were young?
Williams Beauty Shop, 24/7. The salon we do, Salon Plus. It was Salon Plus 7. Miss T. Shoot, it was a lot. It was hair. You think it was back in the day? We was popping. Popping.
And what was the first place y'all was going to after y'all got y'all hair done?
I was going to Prime Time.
Prime Time.
NCO Club, studio,
So San Antonio was hot back then, huh?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
What was the first hairstyle you ever did?
First hairstyle you ever did?
First good hairstyle? Well, first thought I was doing back in the projects was scrunches, if y'all remember that. I was really great with finger waves and scrunches, hard hair. But that's what my signature was. But everybody liked it. When I was doing hair in these chairs like that, people was coming, making appointments from outside the projects to come get their hair done by me. And I knew I was on to something then because I wasn't just doing a project people,
So it wasn't a thing at the beginning where you messed up and you kind of cried about it?
I messed up. A lot of people have, but...
You know what made you want to cry? What?
I was like, I want to quit. We used to do things called pocket curls.
Okay.
Pocket curls is when the curling iron is too hot. That's when you put the curling iron on the stove and you would curl your hair and you burn it off. You just put it in your pocket.
So they wouldn't know.
You just kind of run your fingers through it, even though they can smell the burn. You just say it's some fire on the stove.
When did they stop doing the hot comb on the stove?
Flat irons came in. These plug-in flat irons came in and just kind of took it over. I still do. I still have my irons.
Why still use it?
Sure, because it just gives a good curl. It's just something about that old school, and people still want it. I don't mind going into the 2000s, but at the same time, I like to do what I learned in my foundation. That was the foundation of my hairstyling, you know what I mean? So I bring both of those worlds together.
What's a good product for to use as far as for their hair? What do you use now?
Products.
Okay, as far as the flat iron your hair, you have those products?
Royal Serum. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Let's talk about your products real quick.
Go.
What do you have in there for these women to come in there and get?
House of Royalty products, what I have is I have a maintenance package.
Okay.
I have not grew it to the Relax Salon. I just have a finishing product package, which include therapeutic shampoo, shampoo and conditioner, moisturizing shampoo and conditioner, them are both things that we need as black women. I have my Royal Serum, that is for a blow drying agent, for natural hair or to add luster and to protect the hair against humidity and things like that. I have my Texas Tea Spritz. That was the first product I ever launched. That was my first product, and so that kind of tripled me down to my whole line. It's one of the baddest spritz in the world. Texas Tea Spritz. Yeah.
Well, what sets it apart? And why is it the baddest?
It's lightweight. It still give you that shine. It still give you that look. It still allows you to have that sharp, shiny curl, and it still gives you. It looks good, look crisp, but it's not hard. It doesn't have a lot of alcohol in it. It still protects you against humidity. Things like that make a difference in the healthy of the hair. And then a lot of guys use it because they use it for their braids or like their twist styles or their crisp lines. Because that's how good it is. I'm just saying.
Most use.
What?
So what else products do you have that men could use? Because we probably wouldn't even think that you did have products that we
Royal
could
Crown Grooming Lounge products.
Really? Dang.
We have beard oil. We have some bump control that I'm coming out with right now. We have therapeutic shampoo and conditioner because y'all don't like to shampoo your hair. Y'all like to just get in the shower and use soap. So I'm trying to teach y'all that you don't have to do that. I have a Royal Edge spray for them because they love my spritz so much. I formulated something for them so they can use it for the twist, the lock, on their razor edge lines and things like that.
So is somebody like sitting in the lab creating your products? Like where did this idea come from to, you know what I'm saying? What did you first?
Well, I used to do a lot of hair shows and I would travel a lot and I would make sure that people seen me because I felt like San Antonio don't really get a lot of love when it comes to the hair field.
Right,
so when I would go out, I would make sure that I was going hard. And I would do a lot of hair shows and a lot of competitions. And he came to me and said, would you like to have your own spritz? You know, I feel like that's a great thing for you to take your next level. And I said,
okay, what does spritz do?
Spritz is like when you're curling hair, when you're styling your hair, you need that little spray to kind of help control or give you the steady look and the shine.
Okay.
So it's something that we need in styling our hair because you just can't style it without anything because it has no protection on top. So the spritz adds as a protection, adds as a sealer, as a shine, all those things. Depends on how much alcohol is in it though. That's what they gotta learn.
Oh, that's why her stuff stand out, y'all. Cause y'all hear this, right? She got it down to a science. How hands-on are you with creating your products?
When I first got my first spritz, the manufacturer, they already had their formula together. And so they sent me a couple of different ones. And they told me to test and see which one I liked. And so I let them know what I liked about each product and what I didn't like. And so they kind of formulated something for me. So after that, I started formulating my own. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, no.
So they have you can do scientists drop by drop, or you can have a manufacturer kind of, they give you a foundation and then you can add and subtract.
So I want to get to your resume when it comes to these hair shows. Talk to me about that. Tell me.
What you want to know.
So first of all, what was your first hair show?
It was here at a club. My first hair show. Yolanda Love had did a first hair show. I never knew what a hair show was, and she was telling us about it. And she just kind of told us, you do hair to music. And so my first hair show was here. I think it was at, fourth quarter years, there used to be a club.
Okay.
That one. I started doing competitions, and that's when my life changed.
Now with the competitions, is it still doing it to the music as well?
Yeah, it's still the same. It's just like being creative.
Okay.
You pick a song, be creative, and tell the story without talking to the music.
So do you have to practice this? Like, it's not something you just go in there and do, correct?
No, you got to practice. It's like
really?
Like a musical play to music.
So what was your first play? If you can remember.
I don't know.
Okay, or a play that stood out to you.
I have a lot of them.
I want one of them.
I've done the one I did at Bronner Brothers. I did I did Megafest. I did Jurassic World. So the Jurassic World, I did Jurassic World.
Okay.
The show I did at Bronner Brothers was Welcome to Texas Tea Cinema. So we know like it was different. I've done many shows. We have an app for that. Because everything has a title. That's how I know what show it is. We clean up the city. You name Texas Tea versus Toni. I've done that before. I've done many shows. I've done a lot of shows.
So what's the point of a hair show though?
Creativity.
Okay.
Popularity.
What's some things you've seen that you were like, oh man, you seen the Empire State Building done on somebody's head?
I mean,
like,
all of that. When you travel, you have to get outside of different states because everybody have a different style of doing hair. So you see a lot of creative things. I did the Golden Scissor Awards, and they was real creative. I thought I was doing something.
What you seen?
They sent us home.
Give a picture in our head.
It's just like they make a hair out of boat. They'll make a boat and the girl be attached to it and it's part of her hair. Like whatever you can come up with, they really are creative. I've seen a show where they did what's the girl with all the hair of her face? What's the movie?
Oh, The Ring?
The Ring. Where the guy was sitting watching TV, a real TV, and the girl came out of the TV. And she was the ring, and so he was a barber, and he started cutting her hair and gave her a haircut. Like it'd be creative like that, like. And so when I used to go to them shows, I'm like, oh, I gotta step my game up.
Right.
And so that's what I started doing. I started being really creative about telling my story. But I like telling stories in my projects that I do. So I think that's what got me popular.
So you just use the hottest song out, or just the song that best tells your story?
The song that best tells the story. I have a show coming up in July, and we already got the whole thing down in our head.
So tell me about, because this is something you said you live by. You said honest, humble, and hungry. Tell me about that.
Honest, humble, and hungry came from conversations I used to have with different people. I started realizing that I had a story and people wanted to be motivated or encouraged about how you did it, when things go wrong in my life, how did you make it through those things? Or, when somebody stabbed you in the back, how did you make it? When your husband broke up, what made you not quit? Like those things, them questions started happening. And I started realizing that, well, you got to be honest about who you are and what you want. So I think when you're honest about the mistakes you made, or you're honest about who you truly are, what you don't like, I think that helps.
Isn't the honesty sometimes hard to?
What? But that's the only way that you're gonna get the real answer if you're honest with yourself. Because I can lie to you all day, but I really know when I look in that mirror what my insecurities are, what I need to be working on. We already know that. We really need to. We know that unless you psych yourself out, that nothing's wrong. And like with me, people get misconstrued saying that I'm like that. Like I don't see the things that I need to work on. But I'm so high-strung on growth and not quitting that I keep moving along with my mistakes. And people want you to suppress when you're being honest. Does that make sense? And so I think honesty is the best thing about, like, I know I want to be successful. I know I want to make a difference in people's lives. I know I want to leave a legacy for my kids. You know what I mean? I know that.
So when did you start to notice your growth?
When life kept happening.
And what do you mean by that? What happened that you were like, man?
Divorce affects you a lot. And me and my ex he was a barber and I was a stylist, so we worked together. That humbled me.
Y'all both from the same city?
We worked in the same, like we had a barbershop and a beauty shop.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest things, but it humbled me and it grew me because now it's not us, it's me. You know what I mean?
So did you have to like outbuy him from that?
Yeah, I gave him the name and I just started over.
But you had the location and everything was pretty much still there.
Yeah, I just moved, but because that's where I come from. I'm a hustler.
Ooh, man.
I'm a hustler.
Do you teach that to people? That
Do
grind?
I teach? Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So
that's
what do you do?
Program.
Okay, tell me about this program.
What I do, okay, let's go to Honest, Humble, Hungry, because that's part of the program.
Okay.
When you're honest, humble, and hungry, you have to know those things before we can progress in class, because I want to know what you want, what do, you know what I mean? Where you trying to go? So to be honest.
Right.
If you want to really be successful, let's see what your insecurities are and what your issues really are. And so I ask you, what do you want from me? What are you trying to do? So if you tell me, you come to my class, right? Just a personal one-on-one class. So I'm like, well, what are you here for? Well, I want to grow my business. So I'm like, so you trying for the money or do you have a passion for it? Because I'm different. And then so they'll say, well, I have a passion for it. Well, tell me what your real passion is. Because it really could be singing and you're doing hair. So you're wasting time doing hair. Just go sing. Or you can use hair as a tool to get you to go sing.
So you're weeding this out of people.
I weed it out. That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Then I break it down to the numbers. How much money you want to make? Let's not make it about, well, I don't really like to do hair. I don't really want to work on Saturdays. You know, how much money do you want to make? That's how I look. I look at it. And then I just break it down. You say you want to make $100,000. Okay, let's do the math. So you need to, how many days you plan on working? I do it like that. How many hours you plan on working in that day? Because people tend to feel sorry for themselves, and so I take it back from them.
That you do a lot, man. Like, how do you find the time, Superwoman?
I do that on Mondays.
Yeah. so Mondays is the day.
Mondays is 1-on-1. Let's go get it.
So what? Okay, what are your Mondays like? What do you do on your own time? What's getting the life of Miss Toni? What do you do on your own time? Still trying to help people.
Mondays is that's still working. Sundays is more me. That's more me and God time. So that's my only day I really relax.
So you a religious woman?
Yeah. What?
Oh,
that's what brought me here through and everything.
Yeah. God, huh?
Let me tell you a story.
Talk to
quick.
me.
They said I was not going to live through the night. I was born with a heart defect, and I was supposed to die that night.
This is when you were born?
I was born.
Okay.
I had 2 open heart surgeries. And they said, okay, well, she can go home. She may not live to be 7, so just enjoy the rest of your time with her.
That's what they told your parents?
That's what they told me. They told my mother that. So my mother started crying and said she couldn't take care of me. She gave me to my grandmother. Okay. Because she didn't want to just have me down.
She didn't want to see it.
She didn't want to see that. So, nobody did that but God. She not gonna be.
But yet you here, huh? So does that motivate you every day as well?
That's my hunger. There it is.
Dang.
And then that's my giving back. Because he set me up by doing hair, but really it's to tell my story and to help them through everything that I've been through. So all the things that I've been through, the backstabbing, the divorce, the deaths, lost a lot of people in my life, and to see me still going is motivation for people, and they want to know how I did it.
What's your hardest backstabbing story that was hard to deal with? Like, I can't believe it, in a sense.
Somebody really close to me. Really, 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 really close to me.
They did what?
Robbed me. Called everybody that they knew that loved me and tried to ruin my name.
So how did you deal with that? Having someone out there trying to ruin you?
I cried, and I took a step back. I forgave him, and then I moved forward.
You forgave him? Tell me about that forgiveness. Like, I know that's hard.
Because you can't hold on to stuff like that, because it hinders you. I had to forgive because I won't be able to bless nobody else. If I'm always looking at you, that you're going to do what they did to me.
Right.
Yes. I think that happened because God wanted me to trust him. I was trusting people. That makes sense?
So did you have trust issues at first, or that caused a trust issue? I've always had trust
issues because my dad was never around, so I'm always having a trust issue. But I'm big on family, so when I feel like we're family, I trust you. You know what I mean? And these people were family to me. You know, it was family to me.
Man. That's hard to come back from. Like, that takes a big person to do these type of things.
You just gotta be at peace with things, you know. I didn't die. I didn't lose my businesses. You know, I had to look at the good things because a lot of things could have happened in what they was trying to do.
Seeing that your father wasn't in your life, how do you feel about women that use that excuse of they had daddy?
Using the excuse of having,
they can bring it to me, and I talk to them about my story. You know, I tell them how me being angry that my around because this is what you missed out on. It turned into a motivation instead of a weakness. You know, instead of something that you want and it holds you down. Now it does still hinder me in relationship.
Like
I don't trust
in your
men like that.
relationships?
Yeah.
Ooh, how did that roll over to that though?
Because you look for a father's love. That's the one that's supposed to teach you what a man supposed to treat you like.
Right.
And he wasn't there to show me that. So I went looking for love wherever I could find it.
How does Miss Toni like to be treated by her men?
I'm very simple.
Okay.
Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
Like
Tell me.
when men date me, they want to fly me here. They want to buy me expensive things. Don't get me wrong. I love nice things, but it's the simple things that catch my heart.
So just
Men are kind of dumb.
yeah.
Kinda dumb.
Educate us, please, because we need some help.
It's the simple things, the small things is what captures a woman's heart. And like because of the position that I'm in, and I'm strong,
You
and
can be
I've
very
been
intimidating.
through these things. They say I'm very intimidating, or I may not want them because they feel like they have to have more than whatever. And really, I just look to see how good you can treat me. And I'm not talking about money wise. I'm talking about relationship wise, friend wise, support wise. You know what I mean? And how we can grow together. Because if you was my dude, I'm gonna make sure you eat like I eat.
Yeah, that's how it's
I'm gonna
supposed
make
to
sure
be.
you get your dream like I get my dream. I would think I'd be the best partner. You know what I mean? But it's not like that but I've learned that I have to learn to be a little bit more submissive because I am a strong. What they call me? What y'all be
Independent
saying?
woman.
All that.
So, is it okay for you? First off, being that you are that independent and strong, do you approach the man, or does the man have to approach you?
It's both.
It's both. You're okay with
I know
both.
how to flirt.
Okay.
I'm still a lady though. I don't be like, I like you. Come here, I don't do that.
That's too funny. Have you ever made someone hair fall out before?
No.
Yeah, I was watching Martin, and Gina forgot to put something in the perm.
She put that girl up under the dryer.
Yep, and it just fell out. I was
No.
like, so you never had a situation? Have you seen a situation like that?
Yes.
About that, how a real life situation went down.
This girl had, only thing I remember, somebody tried to put somebody up under the dryer with a relaxer. And
Okay.
I said, hell to the no, because I was in my shop.
Okay.
But it was another situation where a girl worked in my shop and she cut the girl braids out and cut the girl hair. And the girl was furious and she came back, wanting money. And she was talking to the girl and I'm letting them, but they was talking it out and the girl tried to beat the stylist up.
What do you do in that situation?
Oh my
Because the girl
God.
wasn't per se wrong, was she?
I'd be mad too. You know what I mean? Especially if you don't seem sympathetic. You have to seem sympathetic. And that's where I come in, So I try to offer her treatments. I did her hair for free. I end up doing her hair for free a couple of times because it was my shop.
Right.
But
right. Because it
after a
all
while,
falls on you. Because it all falls on you.
It all falls on me.
Oh man! So how many chances does your employees get to mess up like that before they
She
gotta
got
go?
fired that same day.
Oh, you gotta go now.
Yeah, she had to go because she wasn't sympathetic to the situation.
Right.
How
Okay.
strict of a boss are you?
How strict of a boss
I'm
are
very
you?
strict.
Really?
I'll tell you.
I wish I had some.
A lot of people don't
employees
like me. Some people hate me, but how are you when you talk about a friend?
So you give that tough love.
Yes, but I love them too. We have a good time too. But at the same time, I'm gonna birth what I see in you out.
How do you improve your team? How do you do it? Do you take them out to eat? Do you consistently have meetings? What do you
We
do
have
to
meetings
build
every
your
first
team?
of the month. I give everybody the opportunity to say what you want on the floor. If you have ideas, I try to incorporate them. In what we're doing in the progress. If they have ideas, what we can do to the team. Now, I'm not perfect. There's a lot of mistakes that I have made. That's where we all are human. In the meetings, we kind of dish out whatever our issues are, and then we don't want to take them on the floor. Of course, I used to always take them out to eat. We would go to eat once a month, and I stopped doing that because it wasn't giving out what I wanted it to have. We do a lot of hair shows. I travel, I take them with me or whatever. If celebrities come in town, I try to make sure that they get to experience that. I try to give them experiences to give them exposure.
Does that build confidence?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how important is confidence though?
A lot of them.
It is. Yeah. Confidence in.
It's very important.
Yeah.
People gotta sit down without you talking. When people walk into my salon, they already know I'm the owner without me talking.
Why? What is it?
I
It's an
think
aura you give?
it's they said I just look like the owner, and then I say hello, have you been helped? What, you know, or I walk by, you need anything? You okay? You know, it's those things that take you to another level, and they see that I run the business, so they just know. So I try to teach them that you have to be a leader.
So in the community, in our community, should we use it to get what we want per
Please,
se?
what like what?
Okay, so I feel like friends, right? We should have a use for each other with us being friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
So should friends always or like I said, in the community should is it okay for us to use one another? You know what I'm saying?
I have no problem with it, long as it's back and forth. You know, long as we're, you know, like if I'm always doing something for you and you're not doing anything, like if you come and say, I want to do an event, if I've never seen you try to send any business my way, try to interview me, you know, try to make sure that I get some exposure from what you do, then why should I do that for you?
That only makes sense to me. That's so crazy. So it should be a mutual thing.
Yeah.
So what if the other person, well, there's nothing mutual. Is it wrong? Is it wrong that you don't per se mess with that person because you don't have anything mutual? You know what I'm saying? So is that wrong or?
There's some people I don't mess with in San Antonio, but if I'm always on Facebook looking at things, but I feel like if they do good business, I send people their way.
You're right.
We don't have to be friends to see that you do good business. But like my word is really powerful from people, so I gotta make sure that, you know, I'm sending them to good people. You know, I do that all the time.
How did you build that power, would you say?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like if you're good, you're good. Like, a lot of people don't like me, but if I'm good, I'm good. If my salon is great, it's great. If my clothes are good, they're good. You know, like, them are just facts.
Right,
you don't
right,
have to like me, so don't ruin my business because you don't like me. Does that make sense?
So is that one of them things that the numbers don't lie type of situations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can say what they want to
You
say
gotta
about
respect
me,
it.
but you got to respect it. And people, they don't, and I think they don't like me because I don't come down. Makes sense.
More. What do you?
I don't.
So meaning what? You
I
always on
don't
top of your
stop.
yeah. Okay.
I don't
okay.
stop. You can stab me in the back and they think it's gonna make me close down. You can talk about me and say things or whatever. I'm just gonna go get a bigger shop.
But look, with that being said, you don't stop. So you went to China.
Yeah.
Why? Why'd you go to China?
Cause I wanna cut the middleman out.
Ooh, look at that, y'all. Say that again. Say that again. You want to cut the middleman out?
Yeah. And educate us. What about that? You know what they said when I came back?
Tell me.
She thinks she all that. She needs to go get checked because, you know, I went to China now. People miss it. Oh, it's so nasty up there. I can't believe she did that. They miss it because everything that I was sharing, it wasn't to gloat because I didn't have to share any of that. I was sharing it so we can see where our hair really coming from because wigs is the new world. Weave
Right.
is the new world. So let's see how they really do this thing.
Learn when you went to the source.
Ooh. I learned a lot about their culture. I learned about how they make the hair. I learned how they price the hair. You know, I went to 3 different factories. You know how you hear about, you go to the poor part and they make it and they get $2, Nike and stuff do. So I went for my field. But they really take you on a tour, really showing you exactly how things are done. So if I'm gonna sell this hair, at least I be educated on it. You know what I mean? And so I offer those services to people here. If you want to get connected with the people I was connected with in China, because everybody can't go to China. You know, we can have a one-on-one. I can show you different things, what you can do. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but I met so many people that I may connect you with somebody.
So were the people there open to letting you into their field? You know what I mean? Because
In China?
here, you know, here they don't want you in their business.
China,
They don't want you.
China about that money.
Yeah.
They're
Why
about
is
that
it
money.
when it comes to here they act different then?
Because we don't want you to win.
That's what that is.
You can win as long as you don't beat me.
Because I be seeing, you know, people come into your store and look and see what you got, and they can't stand you when you go to their store. And you want to take me. You may just be trying to get on the internet and look for what type of hair this is or whatever. They will come up. They will run up on you so quick. What are you doing? Are you taking pictures?
And they like that here because they got done so bad from us so many times. So they have that aura about us. Like all the time, I go to the beauty supply stores that's in my neighborhood. When I see one getting built and it's in my neighborhood where I work, I go to them and I say, who's the owner? And I introduce myself because I'm a business owner to a business owner. So I'm going to be sending my clients to you. So I'm going to introduce myself because when I send my clients to you, I want to treat them with the same respect that I'm treating you. This is the hair I like for them to have. If I don't have it, this is what I want them to have. I show them the things that I want them to give them. Don't sell them anything other than that.
So we have some black beauty supplies now.
Tia.
You know? Tia. But there's another man. He's black. He's actually half black, half Asian. He has one too. I don't know if his name is Robert. But
Beauty Plus.
Beauty Plus. That's what that.
He owns it.
I think he owns that.
Okay.
I think that's his. You know what I mean? So I think we doing something different now. All of a sudden, we're trying to, I guess, corner the market maybe.
I mean, and there's ways to do it. It's hard because as soon as we see us on it, we don't want to support it. And even though the Koreans and people treat us differently, we still gonna go in there and buy stuff. A lot. Because I even had meetings with people in my salon. When they don't push retail, I see the clients go out our shop after they get their hair done and go down there and buy products to keep their hair up. But that comes from us lack of education. And we do it out of habit.
So what motivates you to cut out everybody and go to China? Like, what was that motivation?
I see other people doing it.
Yeah.
Like on social media or when I go to Atlanta and stuff, they was actually going to Beijing, they was going to China, they was going to India, you know, like meeting the people. And I'm like, dang, that's what I need to be doing then.
What's the benefits in that?
What is the benefits?
Yeah, the benefits in that.
Going, first of all, international. Learning to, like to expand your horizons. It was life-changing. China was life-changing. And I went to 3 different cities.
Really?
It was life-changing.
So what was the food like?
Nasty. I'm not embarrassed. I ate McDonald's a lot.
Really? Did it taste the same?
Yeah.
Nothing native?
I tried, but I spit it out. I wasn't gonna eat that.
Yeah.
They eat gross.
So when you got back, a few weeks later, the virus hit, did you feel like, whew, I dodged a bullet?
Oh, Jesus, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Thank you. What?
So did
I
all
would
your
have been
friends
over
hit
there in
you
the
up?
hotel doing hair.
Yeah.
Living there.
Did all your friends hit you up and be like, hey, girl?
Well, people was just making sure I was okay. It just so happened I was sick, but I was sick like the flu or whatever. And people kept saying, you need to go to the doctor. But I was all right. Yeah.
If you people play a little too much, like, look, all right now, look.
Yeah, people be messing me on Facebook saying, you need to go get checked out.
Yeah. Hey, well, you be wanting to slap them through the screen, huh?
Yeah, they be trying to be funny. It's all good, though.
What is, I want to know, are wigs like the enemy to stylists?
It can be, because we do hair for a living. And so if somebody could just go to a beauty supply store, or I sell wigs too. You know, if they come buy wigs, they'll never get their hair done. You know what I mean? They just put things on it. But that's why I try to stay focused in the hair game, which comes with the scalp and the hair, and make sure that I stay up on the healthy. Because when they have stuff out, they're going to come back. They need some help. I started doing wigs because that's where the world was going.
Right.
But at the same time, I can take care of your hair up under the wig.
So how are we going to change the women from going from wigs back to...
I think it's kind of happening because everybody's losing so much hair. They're losing their hairline from all the glue.
So it's the same thing as us wearing our ball caps all the time. We start to lose.
That's what happened.
Really?
But the women are worse.
Really?
They're losing a lot of hair. Because they're doing it at home. They're watching it on YouTube, doing their own stuff, and they just tearing their hair up.
Is YouTube hurting y'all too?
What?
Said,
I say YouTube is the devil.
Yeah.
When it comes to hair.
Oh, good luck.
And the client comes sit in my chair and show me some YouTube stuff. I wait for her to finish, and then I go point to my license. And I say, see this? 25 years in the game. You ain't got to show me nothing on YouTube.
25 years in the game. That's when you opened up the...
I've been doing hair longer than that, but I just stopped. I stopped counting.
Yeah. Golly. Well, so give me one of your best stories.
I don't know, like what?
You may have done somebody famous here. That might be one of your...
I've done Tamar. I've done K. Michelle. I've done models.
How did that come about?
Just being in the right room, just being connected. And then like with K. Michelle, and for a stylist, and they called me.
You was the go-to.
She wanted me to work for her, be her assistant. She wanted me to go on tour with her. I wasn't gonna leave my shop.
Right, that's your baby right there. You know what I mean? But what would make you leave?
I don't know.
You said, I don't know. Tyler Perry Studios come and say, hey, we want you to be our stylist for the studio.
That may change things.
That might change things a lot, huh? So who are your mentors, growing up, or even now? Who are your mentors?
Locally, let y'all know.
Or however, locally, non-locally? I want to know who do you look to?
I have a mentor that's kind of like a father figure to me. He's a retired businessman. Of course, what he does, he's the kind of guy that puts me in rooms that I can't just walk in and test to see how I act in those rooms. That's what I love about him. Like, he's so elevated, you know what I mean? So he makes me very uncomfortable. And that's kind of like the best lesson, when somebody makes you uncomfortable.
So does he give you tough love?
What? All the time. I be scared to death when he come or call, because we meet once a month. And he just kind of talks to me about, okay, tell me what's happening. Like, he don't believe in, well, it was just a bad week. Let me see the numbers. You know, like he acts like me. We talk once a month just to kind of keep me hard and keep me thinking level-headed, not acting like a kid. You know,
right.
I have hairstylists, mentors that I look to. I have a lot of people I look to. It depends on what I'm hungry for.
Okay.
That makes sense?
That does. So right now I want to give y'all the opportunity, to call and ask questions if you want to.
That's what somebody asked. Who is my mentors and why?
Yeah.
Deidre says, who are my mentors and why? Everybody has something that they offer. And I always look for people that's tough, that's successful or has been successful, because I know they're going to be honest with me. They don't mind they don't care about who I am. They really want to see me win. They're not trying to be my friend. That makes a difference. And they need to have something that you want in life. And I'm not talking about material, The people I deal with have peace. It's like and confident, and they just help you through your progress, especially when you want to quit. I hope I answered that.
No, yeah, for sure.
What?
I was trying to give people the opportunity to call on me.
I do motivational speaking all the time. I do have my own classes. I am invited to different classes. I do Bonner Brothers motivational speaking. I do have Millionaire Business Bestie. I speak upon that. If you want to, I speak on my story. I do a lot of different motivational speaking. And so you can just let me know if you want me to come speak at your event. I want
to ask you a different question.
Okay.
Now, because I'm a real big, I'm into Marvel and DC type things.
Okay.
If you could have any power, what power would you have? Any power.
Ooh.
And why?
And why? Yes.
Marvel. So who is this? The X-Men?
Yes, that's all of them is X-Men. Captain America, Avengers. I want to try to figure out what power would you want and why.
I don't know.
You want to be invisible? You want to read minds? What you want to do?
I don't want to read minds because that's dangerous.
That it is.
If I control the weather, I don't know. Probably smart, like the Blue Man. Wasn't he smart? The blue man with the blue wolf
on X-Men?
Yeah,
so that's Beast.
Smart.
Yes, Beast was he was a scientist.
Wolverine was too angry. Storm wasn't enough for me.
Storm wasn't enough?
He wasn't enough. I don't like how they made her look.
Okay.
The other girl, the last one. What's the last girl?
You got Jean. You have
the last girl the last X-Men they just did.
Okay.
She was everything. Not Mystique. She was everything.
You said she had so much power. No. You said this is the last one.
The last one. She was young. They did the young kids this time.
Okay.
I forgot what she was.
You sure wasn't? So you said it wasn't Mystique, the lady who can translate like anybody.
No, not Mystique. I don't want to be that.
Who is this? I'm thinking Rogue touches you. You know what I'm saying? She can take anybody's powers when she touches you.
Who was the one that got buried by the water and all of that?
Got buried by the water? I don't know.
She was sitting up there and holding the water back so the plane could go up.
That's Jean.
Yeah, that was
did
Jean. Yeah, she she's telekinetic.
Maybe it was a young Jean. I don't know what her name was, but she was powerful.
Okay.
She was so powerful, she even messed up the man in the wheelchair.
Yeah, Xavier. Who? That's Jean. That's Jean.
Or was it a young Jean then? Is
It
that
might
what
have been.
Whoever the new girl was, she had a lot of power.
So what power is it that you want? Are we talking about here?
I think I had that power.
Is power a thing to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power to forgive.
Yes.
Power to move forward. Power to keep growing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
So power is everything. So would you say that you are a bossy girlfriend, wife? Is power a thing in the relationship?
I like somebody to be powerful of me. I like to be the woman. I
So,
like them to
okay.
be like, I
So
don't
you
want to
want
be that.
your man, you want the man to be the
Yeah.
manly man.
Yeah.
Can you break down to me the perfect man to you? Like if you could
I don't
build a
know.
bear.
I don't want no perfect
Why
man.
does every woman say this?
I
when
don't
ask
want no
them that?
perfect man.
You don't want a perfect man. But you have the opportunity right now to build a bear.
Build a
man.
bear.
You're building a man. We're talking we're going to start off with the outside first. What does this man look like?
I'm not outside girl. I guess what
What I mean by
do
outside
like,
is I like dark skinned men. I like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by outside. He has to be buff.
I'm
He has to be-
attracted to strength. I'm attracted to leadership.
Okay.
I'm attracted to people that's like me.
Reflect,
Go-getters, leaders. Don't mind standing in what they believe, if there's wrong or right. I'm just big on that. Not saying like you're a killer. Yeah, I'm a killer. Not like that, but I'm attracted to that. I'm attracted to men's mind. I'm attracted to a lot of, unfortunately, Leos because they're leaders. You know what I mean? They're go-getters. That's the worst. And they're very romantic. I like people to be romantic, but yet strong. You know what I mean?
So you do have a type.
I don't really have that kind of type.
Right.
It ain't no, he got to be dark skinned and a fade and work out every day. I done dealt people with fat bellies, bald head, dreadlocks, dark, bright. It's not a look. I'm grown. I ain't no, he got to have the right shit. I'm not that.
So do you believe in soulmates?
Yes.
Really? So you believe that there's that one person out there for you?
Yeah.
Really?
I think I met my soulmate though. What you say?
Soul ties.
Yes.
What does that mean? What does that mean by soul ties? Like we're just linked?
You ain't had it? You ain't had
What
it
does that
yet.
mean? I was trying to figure out what it means first.
It's just, it don't matter how many years you don't see them, and you see them or you hear their voice,
It brings back that
takes you
feeling.
right. But it's a difference. It's not just, it makes me remember. Oh, it's like a heavy. It's like undeniable, like the room can see it.
So do you have someone like that in your life? Like when you see him, it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I lead a city.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy.
I mean, but it's a blessing to have that because everybody don't experience that.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
It's 8:04.
Oh, okay. So, tell me, what are some things that I may have missed that you wanted to talk about?
Be honest, humble, and hungry.
Those.
Them are things that I live by. If people really want to understand me, I decide to be honest about who I am and start walking into who I truly am and not being apologetic for it. Some people are going to love you. Some people are going to hate you. I'm just that person. I'm not that person where everybody's going to love her. It's either you love or you hate her. And I had to be honest about that's just who I am. I get that from my mom. But at the same time, I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm trying to do. So that's the honesty. And that takes me to my hunger. I'm always hungry. I'm never going to be greedy. Greedy and thirsty. Thirsty means begging your way up. Greedy means beating somebody down to get it. I'm going to go get my own, educate myself, help people up that's going to want to come with me. That's just what I do. I'm hungry enough, humble. I know God brought me here. I know the people that paved the way for me. I'm going to make sure that I pay homage to them. I'm going to always remain humble. I'm going to always remain appreciated. And I'm just going to always remain blessed. That's what I live by.
Okay, I want to ask you just.
What do you love the most about doing here and why?
What do I love about the people?
The way she make them look.
The conversation, the transformation of them. It's bigger than hair. It's so big. It's so much bigger than hair. But it's what you do to people to make them feel better about themselves.
Okay, I want to ask you something real quick on something different. So, I have daughters.
Okay.
And being that you have children older and younger, so I don't like my little girls when they're like, give me a kiss. They always want to kiss me on my lips, but I don't kiss my kids on the lips. And I think my reason for that is because I don't want in the future for them to be like, oh, daddy, and I'm hurt. You know, how did you deal with that with your kids?
Well, my mom, I always like to kiss on the lips. And that's just what I was used to. But me and my kids don't do that.
Even when they was younger, though, did it start off that way when you was younger, and then did you ever get that talk? Mom, I don't want you to kiss me. You know what I'm saying? No.
Like my mama, that was shit. I did that till she died. I was grown. That's what we did. She just did that. But I don't do that with my kids. My kid, we have a different kind of we fight love.
Yeah.
Girl, it's like she's very mommy, hug me. I want you to hug.
Yeah.
But me and my kids so tight that we tight. You know
That's what I'm talking. That's important though.
They like my best friends, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, let me get your social medias.
My social media is Toni Campbell on Facebook, Acey71 on Instagram. Them are the three I live by. House of Hair, House of Royalty, Royal Crown on Facebook.
If somebody wanted to contact you about being a part of your team.
So they want to contact you.
You can go to TexasT71@ymail.com. That's my email. SalonRoyalty.com is our website. Or you can message me, Toni Campbell, on Facebook. I'm always answering my messages on Facebook.
And do you do mentoring yourself?
In mentoring, my one-on-one classes, I do a lot of one-on-one classes about mentorship. Anything, if you want to do finance, you want to grow yourself as a person, grow yourself as a business. I've been there. I think I can help a lot of people with that.
Okay. All right. Well, nothing else you want to talk about, correct?
Do you have any questions for him?
Do you have any questions for me?
No. Thank you for having me. No.
Yo, me and Miss Toni got something coming up for y'all here soon, man. Y'all be on the lookout.
We do.
One more time, I want to give a shout out to Street Legion, man. We surely do appreciate you guys. Also, Past That Apparel Battle Print Press and Mr. Randall Trip with Madhouse Customs. Yo, this is Radioactive, y'all. Peace. Also, wait, our socials. Radioactive Podcast on Facebook, Radioactive Podcast on YouTube, and on Instagram, we got Radioactive_podcast. Now we can peace out.